Persona 3 is an incredible soundtrack with a mediocre game attached to it. Super Mario RPG? More like OK Mario RPG. Mega Man Legends? It sure is a legend because you're never getting a sequel. Are you a fan of the Grandia series? Weird how it's a series that only has a single entry. Grandia 2 sure is great, but it's weird how there's no Grandia 1 or 3 or any spin-off titles. Fire Emblem Three Houses is great. I love games that hit a whopping 18 frames per second. Do you think that you like science fiction, but you really just like the same old third-person shooter schlock you can find in 8,000 other titles? Then critically acclaimed Mass Effect 2 is the game for you. You're a Shining Force fan. That means that your kids have probably graduated university and you probably can't afford the back surgery that you desperately need. Popful Mail. Hang on, that's not even an RPG. Probably got some Elder Scrolls fans in the audience? Have you ever played any other RPG? Tactics Ogre should be prescribed as a sleep aid. Samurai Showdown RPG is so middle of the road that it's basically the Nickelback of Neo Geo RPGs. Knights of the Old Republic is a stone-cold reminder that BioWare will never be that good ever again. You're a Trails fan. Yeah, I know, you've told me 10 times already. Suikoden is pretty good, but 108 Stars of Destiny? More like 70 Stars of Destiny and 38 guys who just stand around doing nothing for the rest of the game. Xenogears is basically Evangelion as told by Richard Dawkins. Beyond the Beyond should have stayed Beyond the Beyond. Man, fuck that stupid game. Remember Valkyria Chronicles? That absolutely amazing tactics RPG series that Sega buried as fast as they could? Shenmue's not an RPG, but this is the perfect place to bring up how absolutely diabolical the gameplay is. If I wanted to pet a cat, which I do, I would do it in real life, which I will. Final Fantasy Tactics is more broken than the relationship between you and your father. Disgaea lets you imagine doing literally billions of damage. And I want to emphasize imagine because there is no way I'm going to do 100 plus hours of prep work to get there. Etrian Odyssey is a really great take on the classic wizardry formula. In fact, it's so good they released the same game like 6 times, just with slightly different names. Speaking of wizardry, what's the deal with permadeath? Every time I start a game, I am totally having a great time, and then a goblin or whatever kills my cleric, and I perma-uninstall that damn game. Final Fantasy VII is my favorite animated Picasso. Just look at those 3D models. Wow. I almost stopped playing Clair Obscur Expedition 33 because I got to the Minoko fight and his music is just so good that I almost couldn't continue playing. I eventually continued by putting the game on mute for the rest of the playthrough so I could just listen to his theme song on repeat for the remaining 20 hours of the game. There once was a game in Osaka! This game's combat system is baka! Sorry. Fear and Hunger? More like, well, yeah, that's pretty accurate, actually. Redemption Reapers is Shining Force for Evanescence fans. Phantasy Star is what happens when a bunch of women make an RPG. Wait, that's good. Metaphor Refantasio is what happens when a bunch of liberal arts majors make an RPG. Wait, that's good. Okay, fine, let's do a joke that the right-wing viewers will appreciate. Would game have female character? Game woke! Disgaea? Disgaea wants Disgaea 3 on Steam. What's up with Disgaea 6? Diablo 2. I'm Diabloing off work today so I can stay home to do more Mephisto runs. Old school Fire Emblem fans. Damn, these maps are hard AF. New Fire Emblem fans. Damn, this face-touching minigame makes me hard AF. When Project Triangle Strategy was renamed to Triangle Strategy. That's it, that's the tweet. Dragon Quest games are just like the common cold. there's always another one, and they're all pretty much the same. Shin Megami Tensei fans are well known for their die-hard love of the mainline Megaten games. They're almost as dedicated as Persona fans are to the Persona games. Vandal Hearts? More like Vandal Farts. The Lunar series is well known for... Just kidding. I remember the first time I finished Cyberpunk 2077. I put down the controller and sat back in my chair. I nodded and reflected to myself. Wow, I finished the game before the devs did. Final Fantasy XV owes Final Fantasy XIII a debt of gratitude for deflecting all of the worst Final Fantasy ever discourse. Final Fantasy Mystic Quest is often referred to as an entry point for RPGs, but I like to refer to it as an entry point to the toilet. Man, Final Fantasy Mystic Quest sure would be something if I did an entire video dedicated to that video game. That sure would be something.